Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to show you how to configure firewall in Glusterfs. So let's begin. For the lab demonstration, I have 3 VMs and these are the same VMs that I had worked with in the earlier labs. Okay. First of all, let's check in which socket Gluster daemon is listening. To verify that, I will use netstat. From the output, it's confirmed that Gluster daemon is listening on 24007. Let's check with Glusterfs server 2. In this server also, Gluster daemon is listening on port number 24007. Now I will jump into the client machine and try to connect to these sockets from there. Let's see how it goes. Now I'm into the client machine. Before that, I would like to let you know that I have already configured host file so that we do not have to enter IP addresses a lot of times. Likewise in server 2 and in client machine. The file is identical on all the machines. Let's get out of it. Okay. First of all, I'm going to ping server 1. The connectivity is okay. Let's ping server 2. The connectivity is fine here too. Now I'm going to use a utility called telnet and try to connect to those sockets where Gluster daemon is listening on. This is not the output that we expected because client is not able to connect to the server in that socket, which is port number 24007. Let's check with server 2. I'll use up arrow here. The result is same with server 2 as well. Okay, so what's the issue here? The problem is the server machines have not allowed client machine to connect to that socket. So let's configure the firewall and fix this issue. Let's close it first. It's a CentOS 8 machine and FirewallD comes by default. Okay. Anyways, let's check if FirewallD has been installed here. And for that I will use rpm-qa. It will go through all the packages. Q means query, A means all. The output shows that the FirewallD package is installed. There's another way to do that, and that is using rpm query FirewallD. It also shows if you want to use another way, then you can use which FirewallD. There's an executable of FirewallD. So from the outputs in the screen, it's verified that FirewallD has been installed here. Let's check if the service is up and running. And for that I will use firewall-cmd --state. This would display the state of FirewallD. We can see the output is running. It means FirewallD is running. Let's check with server 2. The output shows that FirewallD is running here too. Okay. Now, by the way, there is another command to check the status of firewall, and that is using the system kernel. The output shows that the firewall is active and running. Here you can see enabled. It means that the firewall would survive reboot. No issues. Alright. Okay. Before configuring FirewallD, I would like to mention a few things, and they are zone, an interface. You should know what is the active zone, and the interface that you are working with currently, it should be part of the active zones. Alright, so let's find what are the active zones, and for that we can do the current active zone is public. Okay, and this is the interface that is associated with public. Let's check if it's the interface that is listening the incoming traffic. Yes, and it seems like the interface which belongs to public zone is the interface that is accepting the incoming traffic. Now when we apply the rule, we have to use the rule in the public zone, and please keep in mind that one interface cannot be part of multiple zones. By the way, there are a lot of zones configured by default, and they are you can see in the output that there's one zone called Glusterfs. Is the custom zone that I had created just to show you that creating custom zone is also possible in FirewallD. These are the zones, and the information regarding FirewallD is stored in yes, this is the location where all the configuration regarding FirewallD is stored. Okay, alright. Glusterfs involves a lot of ports, so it might not be possible to remember all the ports, but fortunately there's an easier solution to this. If we go inside the directory called services, you can see that there are XML files, and let's go through one of them. I opened the SSH file. It means if you mention SSH service instead of port number 22, then it would still work. And there's a good thing that for Glusterfs, a pre-configured service is there. These are the ports that Glusterfs gets involved into, and we might not remember all these ports. So instead of mentioning or adding rules with these ports one by one, we will just add the Glusterfs service. Okay. Now let's configure the firewall. The statement of FirewallD always starts with firewall-cmd, and after this we should mention zone, which is the zone public. Public is the zone. Now after this, what we want to add? We want to add a service, and that is Glusterfs, and hit enter. It seems like addition of the rule has been successful. Let's verify from the client. Now we can see that the client machine is able to connect to that socket. I will quit. Now I will show you one interesting thing. If I reload the firewall using this command and again try to check from here, this will not connect because FirewallD works with two things. One is running configuration and another one is permanent configuration. Whatever you hit in the screen or in the shell without a word permanent, if you hit the rules without the word permanent, then it would be considered as a running configuration and it would be applied promptly. But the drawback is if you reload the firewall, it will not persist. The rules will not come up. That's why every time you write a rule, you should mention a permanent flag at the end. Now let's reconfigure the rules using permanent flag. Firewall-cmd zone equals public aid-service equals to Glusterfs permanent. Okay, and if you hit enter and reload the firewall and again give it a try from here, yes, perfect. Okay, now if you want to check in public zone what are the services, this would display all the services that are allowed in public zone. Okay, likewise you can see the ports too if you have configured any. It didn't show us any output. It means that no any port has been allowed through the public zone. Just for a test, I will allow one simple port. Zone equals to public 8-port. Suppose 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Let's consider this unrealistic port. And the service that the port holds is TCP, and hit enter. Now we can see that the port that we just currently added has been shown up in the output. And if you reload this and again hit there's no any port, because whatever we configure that was in the running configuration. So to make it persistent, always use -- permanent. All right. Okay, one bonus for you. I will show you another way to make the rules persistent, and that is suppose you edit the rules without -- permanent flag, then later you can make it persistent using this command, which is runtime to permanent. And one thing, have you noticed, every word that I use at first, it has 2 -- but whatever the words comes in between, they have just 1 hyphen. Yes, here you can see in the first one 2 hyphen, 2 hyphen, 2 hyphen, a couple of hyphens, but here at the end you can see runtime -2 permanent. So always the first word starts with double hyphen, but any words come in between, they have only 1 hyphen. All right, I'll configure the same thing in server 2 real quick. Did you notice one thing? While adding the service, I did not mention public zone, because public zone is the default active zone. From the output, you can see that the default active zone is public. Let's check if the service has been active. The Gluster service has been added. Let's verify from the client end. Telnet Gluster fs-srv2 2424007 and hit enter. Yes. Now client can connect to Gluster daemon on both the machines. This is it for the lab. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. See you in another one. Thank you for watching.